What is your position on including SWIFT and gas as sanctions?
What is important is that you touch the Russian economy, that you touch the economic military complex. Crucial is that you make it as difficult as possible for financial institutions, for corporates, to access the international financial markets. Which technical way you use for that, I'm open for the discussion, but we need to make it extremely difficult for them to operate in an international financial environment.
And including gas supply? Cutting the gas supply from our side?
Well, we know that that is one of the elements where you could touch them. I think it's crucial that you take measures that touch them, that have an impact on the Russian economy and have an impact on the economic military complex in Russia.
Minister, are you also ready to discuss further financial support to Ukraine tonight?
Well, the European Union is giving a big package of financial support. We all know that the situation will be extremely difficult for the Ukrainian people. It will be part of the discussion tonight, what additional we can do to help, especially the Ukrainian population, which is an extremely difficult situation.
Prime Minister, the U.S. is afraid that, or they say the Russian goal is to decapitate the government in Kiev. What does that mean? And is there a risk for even further escalation?
Well, we don't have additional information on that, and I'm sure that the NATO summit tomorrow will be able to give us more detailed information on what the security situation is. What we need to decide here on the European level is how do we fight back? And fighting back is by touching the elite in Russia, by touching the economic military complex. That we can do with sanctions, and I think that the package of sanctions which is on the table is a good package, but it needs to be extended, and it needs to be extended with financial measures and making it hard to access the financing and the international capital markets.
Are you afraid that
Putin will stop Putin at the end? Do you think this sanction policy will stop them?
Well, sanctions work. And we've seen that in the past. If we are united and if we take decisions in a united way and we target it well, I'm quite sure that it has an impact. And that it will be felt on the Russian side. As I said, we don't need sanctions which have big words or that bark. We need sanctions that bite. And if it bites, I think it needs to bite in a very thorough way. And I don't think we should be coming back for a third package. The second package needs to be the good one.
There will be EU unity for this very strong bite, as you said?
Up to now, I've seen a good amount of Europe. Let me restart. Up to now, I've seen... okay, don't abuse this. Up to now, I have only seen European unity in everything we have discussed over the past weeks. I've seen that in the preparatory meetings, that unity was still there. So I don't expect a lot of difficulties in the discussion here tonight.
But Prime Minister, how can you say that sanctions work?
Sorry?
Final question. How can you say that sanctions work when the EU has had sanctions on Russia since 2014, and yet we're talking about an invasion of Ukraine right now?
True, but I think what is on the table today is of a very different ballgame. This is going way further, and this is touching the Russian economy at the heart. You have to know our aim is not the Russian population. Our aim is the Russian elite, and making it difficult for them to continue the regime that they have and the way they behave themselves throughout Europe.
What do you believe that European diplomacy has failed so far?
Well, you know, to succeed in diplomacy, you need another person to talk with. And over the past weeks, Mr. Putin and the Russian regime has always said we're open to talk and we're looking for a solution. And in the end, it is quite clear that the scenario was already written beforehand, and they were just looking for excuses to execute that scenario. I don't think you could say that's a failure on the European side. It just means that that the Russians really had very bad intentions, which means that we go into another side. Diplomatic channels are being closed by the Russians, so now sanctions is what we need.
Mr. Croo, in the past, Mr. Putin didn't seem to be impressed by financial sanctions. What else could the European Union do?
Well, I think when he sees what is on the table and what is being decided, I'm sure he will act that he's not surprised. So let me restart. I think what he will see, once he will see what is on the table, he might act that he's not surprised, not impressed, right? Okay. When he sees what is on the table, he might act that he's not impressed, but the impact on this on the Russian economy will be very thorough, and it will have an impact. Okay, thank you. What is on the table today as a package of sanctions should be put into action as swift as possible. And from our side, we would die het de Russische economie en Russische financiële instellingen moeilijker maken voor België het pakket op